Hi, I'm Grant Caps, and today I'm talking about The Office and its character transitions throughout the show. So in season one, there were about 10 characters that made up of The Office. There was Michael Scott, the main character, Jim, and Pam, and then Dwight were the four really main characters of the show. Then there are a bunch of people in The Office that were in the show, but they were not really the main part of it. So there was Angela, Kevin, Stanley, Phyllis, and then Andy Bernard, but he comes in later in the show as well. So I'm just here to talk about how in the beginning of season one, they made up a certain amount of characters that were good for the show. And then they just knew that there needed to be transitions throughout the show as well. So they would always add characters and keep them in for a little bit, or they would keep them in for the rest of the show. So a couple characters that came in and came out were actually Michael's boss. It was that he ended up dating, and then there were three or four other characters that Michael ended up dating that didn't work out, which kind of led up to the fact that um, when Holly Flax came to the TV show, Michael and her were the exact same person. It was good to see Michael actually find someone because we might have thought that we were never going to see another character in a relationship with Michael that would actually last because most of his relationships always ended in failure. And then at the beginning, it was also about Jim and Pam. Jim always had a thing for Pam, the receptionist at the time, and she was engaged with someone else that was in the TV show who worked in the warehouse. Um, so they talked about how uh, Jim finally moved on from that. He said, okay, if this isn't going anywhere, I need to find someone else. So he dates three girls throughout the show, and they also come in and out of the show a bunch. And then they talk about how they finally do end up being together at the end of the show and making it feel like it was finally that moment that everyone was looking forward to, where they actually got married, and they are the key of the show after Michael leaves. So then there was another character, the biggest character that came in the middle of the show, Andy Bernard. Andy eventually becomes the manager of the Dunder Mifflin company after Michael leaves. So he always talks about how he had anger issues at the beginning of the show, and he develops into one of the best characters in the show, dating Aaron and other characters in the show. So that was really a big thing that I really enjoyed about The Office, and how it didn't ever stay the same and it didn't ever get bland. Whenever they thought it was getting bland, they would add a character that would have a new personality, new comedic relief, and would make the TV show great again. So I kind of just want to talk about all the characters and how um, they really made an impact on the show, and how um, they really just made the TV show better, even though they might have only been in the show for a season or two. So, hope you enjoyed learning about some of the characters in the TV show and how they added characters and left characters out in certain instances. So, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.